The class today is called Opening the Heart, and it's a metaphor for what happens when we burned all that anger and residue from the third chakra and access and elevate ourselves to the love that lives on the fourth, the heart chakra. Through yoga, we process this energy in the body with some light and more intense back bends. Let's unroll the mat and we will practice together. Okay, let's get on with the class on opening our hearts. We're going to start on the cat posture so that we start warming up the spine. And we're going to inhale the cat up and exhale, curve the spine down. Inhale, curve up. Exhale, curve down. We start embodying, coming into the body, away from the thoughts. Now come to neutral and put the balls of the feet on the mat and kick to dog, but only halfway. The legs are bent. This will allow you for opening and stretching the back. We start opening the chest and we feel that deep lengthening of the back that feels so good. And then start walking the dog. Stretching the back of the legs one at a time, feeling what it's like to engage the quadriceps today. Stomach in. And now stretch both legs for the full dog. Fire up your Ujjayi breath with long inhales and long exhales with sound. But it's a private sound. It's an intimate practice. Then put the knees on the mat and lay down on your belly. For the first posture, we're going to come onto cobra. So the legs are parallel, hip distance apart. The pelvis is on the floor, and the elbows are on the mat with the fingers pointing forward. So from the elbows to the fingers is all on the mat. And then we're standing on the elbows and the palms. The shoulders are relaxed. And we're going to start working on what it feels like to send the spine up and forward. Relax the face, gaze softly forward, and feel the spine beginning to engage. On the next exhale, put the palms next to your chest and lower the chin. Now we're going to inhale and lift everything except for the stomach and the palms, which are next to the chest. But keep the shoulders open and the elbows close to the torso. So we inhale and lift everything up. And feel the difference in this posture. As we open the front of the body, we're going to be putting some pressure onto the back of the body, the spine. So we need to be careful, breathe, and take our time. Lower down. And now put your palms in front of you. And put the forehead on the mat. So we're stretched, fully laying down on the floor, belly down. And the legs are still hip distance apart. And from here we're going to do a little balancing exercise by lifting the left arm and the right leg and also the head from the floor. So on an inhale, lift that left arm, right leg, and look forward. Feel the different areas of the spine that are now involved. No tension in the shoulders. Breathing here. And now you begin to see the dance of what it's like to feel the left side of the chest opening, and then we'll see what it's like on the other side. On the next exhale, relax, lower the arm and the leg and put your forehead on the mat. And now we're going to change. So on an inhale, lift the right arm and leg, look forward, and pay attention to all of your spine and the subtle movements within it as we put it to work and open the heart. Exhale, come back down. Now put your palms next to your chest. Come onto table and transition onto down dog for a few breaths so you can relax here. This is the class in which we pierce through the third chakra by doing the exercises on the emotional yoga body. We get rid of fear and anger, and we access the love that is in the fourth chakra. So this class is dedicated to you and your body, to treat it with love and compassion. Come back to laying down on the mat. Put your palms forward. The forehead is on the mat again. The legs are hip distance apart. And we're going to do Dhanurasana, which is the bow pose, but one side at a time so that we can warm up into the full posture. So we're going to use the right palm to grab the right heel, and then we're going to lift up as if we were trying to make a bow, but just with the right side. You have all of your left body on the mat, which gives you a lot of support. And the right side is opening. We're trying to create an oval shape. See that your right leg is parallel to the left. Don't let it open, and have the knee point toward the back of the room. On the next exhale, release the leg, put the arm in front of you, and let your forehead rest on the mat. We take a cleansing breath here. And now on an inhale, lift up the left arm and grab your left heel and Dhanurasana on the left side. Keep the legs parallel. Breathe here. Relax the shoulders. Keep them rolled away from the ears. And lift only as much as you can. We're giving love to ourselves in this class. No need to push. And on the next exhale, let go. Arm comes forward again. We release the legs, and the forehead comes back to the mat. For the next pose, we're going to do the full version of Dhanurasana. So both hands will reach both heels, and we'll do the bow. So bring your arms back and grab your heels, and then on an inhale, lift up. We're trying to stay only on the stomach. There is no need to make a huge bow. It's just working within what we have today. We're loving and respecting the body that we have. And this is a big opening of the chest. So we're going to breathe here a few times. No tension in the shoulders, neck, or face. On the next exhale, lower, but don't release the legs. Just come to a position, maybe your chin on the mat, where you can rest. And we're going to go back one more time onto the bow posture. And this time feel the legs parallel, how the legs do engage in this posture. And then release, let go of the legs. And then bring your palms next to your chest and push up through table pose into child pose. We take a few relaxing breaths here, releasing any tension that may have come up from the practice so far. Sending love to ourselves. Being grateful that we have a body that loves us back, and that helps us do all of these postures to get it to be shining and vibrant and beautiful. Come on to table pose now. And we're going to do the cat up, inhaling and curving, and exhale, curve down. This time I invite you to look at each part of the back and see how the feeling is changing. So we're going to slow it way down. Inhale, curve up. Exhale, curve down. Much slower and see what changed. Now, starting with the sacrum, curve the whole spine and make an arch. And we'll do it one last time, very slow, as if you were doing it in slow motion, curving up on the inhale, and then slowly curve down on the exhale. Come back to neutral, table pose, and then push halfway onto down dog. The legs are bent. And then when you stretch the legs, get the tailbone to go toward the ceiling, while the heels want to go toward the mat. Now come onto table pose, transition to seated, and lay down on your back now. We're going to do 3 variations of the back bend, which is the biggest opening of the heart. For the first one, we're going to keep it easy and just bring the heels toward the butt and put your palms facing down next to you. And then simply just inhale and lift the pelvis up. And we're doing this posture so that we can get our bearings in how the legs need to stay. They have to be parallel, and the knees are going to point toward the front of the room. It's important that they don't open to the side and that the feet stay parallel. It may not be possible to do it all together, but we're trying for that. So just become aware of how the legs are right now, and keep that in mind as we go through the next postures. Now lower the spine down and let it relax on the mat. For the first back bend, we're going to put the palms next to the ears and push up into the wheel posture, but with the head on the mat. That will make it a lot easier so we can get our bearings in the position. So put your palms next to your ears. Don't let your elbows open. Try to keep them together. And then push with your palms and your feet up and put the top of your head on the mat. This is the first one, and it's going to help us again check on the posture. Are the legs parallel? Are the knees pointing forward? And are the elbows coming close together? You'll also have to engage the muscles of your back, and this will come very handy. Very slowly now release the head, being very, very careful, and bring your spine back down. Hug your knees. And now we're going to move on to the other 2, for which we're going to do the same thing, but for the first one, we're going to go onto tiptoes and then push all the way up onto the wheel pose. Being on the tiptoes will make it a lot easier. Let's try it. So feet on the mat, palms next to the ears, and now go onto your tiptoes and then push up and bring your head onto the mat. Now that we check the posture here, legs parallel, push up onto the full wheel, and since we're on the tiptoes, it's a little easier. Explore how we can breathe here as we open the chest in full. And we give an expression of trust in the full wheel pose. Breathing with long inhale and long exhale, and then slowly put the back of the head and the neck back down. Release the posture and hug your knees. Let's breathe here a few times. As we do the last posture, which is the full wheel, you can stay on tiptoes if that is easier for you. You don't have to push. You can give yourself the opportunity to have your body take its own time in opening into new postures. So don't worry. If the tiptoes is good for you, stay there. If you cannot even lift up and just leave the top of your head on the mat, that's also good. It's all about trusting and opening ourselves to love. So there are no wrong things as long as we're being very careful with the body and never hurting it, of course. So put the feet back on the mat, palms next to your ears. Again, we're coming to the tiptoes, and on an inhale, push up to your head on the mat.
And then push all the way up to Dhanurasana. And now on the wheel, if you can, lower the heels to the mat. But if you cannot do that, that's okay. Breathe here. Just a few breaths. And then release very slowly. Make sure your neck is not hurting you. Extend it. Put the whole of the back of the head on the mat and hug your knees. Hug them and move them back and forth to start relaxing the sacrum and preparing us for the next posture, which will relax the spine in full. Roll your knees to the right a few times and then roll them to the left. Massaging the sacrum, giving a massage to all of your spine. And then bring them back to center. Roll back and forth to a seated posture. After a deep opening of the front of the body, we need to do a forward bend to extend the back of the body as well. We need to balance the postures that we do, like we always do in yoga, and you know by now. So we're going to do Pastimothanasana. Sitting down with legs extended in front of you. And we're going to inhale and lengthen the spine, and on the exhale, forward bend. After a class like this, it's important that we stay in the forward bend for at least 10 counts. And the reason for that is because the spine needs to return to center. So make sure to breathe with long inhales and long exhales into this posture. Can you bend the knees? Yes, please. Don't compromise the spine. Always bend the knees slightly if that helps you. Inhaling and exhaling. Find your edge and never push. Just go to where you can so you feel slight discomfort but no pain. And breathe there at the edge. When you find that sweet spot, release the head too, and that will have gravity help you more. Long inhale, long exhale. You're doing great. You're giving your back an opportunity to relax now. After opening the heart and the chest, now letting it go back to a protective space. And on the next inhale, walk the palms next to your legs up and relax into a delicious Savasana. Lay down on the mat. Open your palms and your legs to the side and breathe here in a normal way. You can let go of the Ujjayi breath and focus your attention in the area of the heart on which we work today. Offer feelings of gratitude for your body and how well it is responding to the classes, how it's stretching, opening, cleansing, and how it's helping you on this journey to a beautiful yoga body. Stay in Savasana for as long as you can. And today, as you go through the day, see if the postures had any effect on your daily dealings with life in general. In any event, always be gentle with yourself. How was the class? How did you feel? This is an intense class, so I invite you to take it easy today and to notice and see if there are any places where you feel either more compassion or if some emotions are still brewing up. Hit subscribe and hit the bell, and until we meet again, the light in me says hello to the light in you. Namaste.